Hello and welcome to our butterfly garden. This is a garden created by the General Federation of Women's Clubs in Hudson. It used to be the GFWC Hudson Junior Women's Club and the GFWC Hudson Community Club. Now we are just one club, the GFWC Hudson Women's Club, and we have managed to keep this garden alive for over 10 years, and we're proud of that. So we'll let you see what some of the special parts of the garden are and a little bit about the history of it. So we try to keep perennials going, so there's always something blooming for us and for any critters who want to have some nectar. This is the main bed. This is the nectar bed. So all the plants in here will attract butterflies. They'll be able to get the nectar, and we try to have a succession of blooms so that there's something there all the time. You can see that we have a little bit of butterfly education, showing the stages of the life cycle. So this garden is really pretty much for the adult butterflies, but we are a certified monarch way station, and in order to do that, in addition to the nectar bed, we have a larval bed, and that's over here. So these plants just provide food for the caterpillars to munch on, and we have a lot of different kinds of milkweed over here too. So we hope that the butterflies know that this is on their designated list, and we do see quite a few butterflies in here in the summertime. Over here is our shade garden, and this garden just came with a nice rock wall, and so after we got the main gardens set up, then we went ahead and made a shade garden over here on the side. So it's also comes out with interesting blooms through the summer and fall. When we started this, there was nothing here. We had to bring in lots and lots of materials to make it work, and we applied for a grant. We applied for a contest for General Federation of Women's Clubs, and we came in second in the whole country, and we got enough money to build our pergola, and that's up here up the hill. Someday we will have vines growing around these posts. Maybe. They're coming. It's just not what they want to do, but anyway, we'll try. The GFWC Hudson Junior Women's Club and the GFWC Hudson Community Club were so excited in 2009 when the town finally bought the property. We had been disappointed before. We had come in and scouted it out, probably illegally, to see where the best spot would be to put the butterfly garden. We managed to find a spot, and we had so much help in planning. We had a naturalist, a master gardener, who was able to do our butterfly garden as her project to be certified as a master gardener. And so we used her plan, and we hauled in yards and yards and yards of mulch, of compost, of loam, and had help from people all over the community, from Boy Scouts, from students at Alvern, and we finally got the garden started, I think, in 2010, and we did this center part. We did the butterfly garden, actually with the butterfly flowering plant attractant kind of things. We did that first, and then the next summer we did the larval garden, And we put in the paths, and to put in the paths all around here, we pulled all the weeds we could, and then we covered everything with layers of newspaper before we put down. We tried mulch, that didn't work, and we finally started using wrap rocks and got that done. And then we ended up extending the path around the shade garden. So by end of 2011, we had a lot of plants growing, and it was amazing that we did, because that first summer was absolutely dry. Our little pond that we were relying on for water, it was just gone. And I taught biology at Alvern at that time, and so I had wonderful honors biology students who did this for their outreach hours, and they brought in jugs of water in wheelbarrows and watered these plants and kept them alive. And so the next year we actually had a garden, and they kept coming and helping, and on the cleanup days they would come and work, and we just had a lot of help from all over the community to get this thing rolling. So by the end of 2011, there was a community improvement project contest, and we decided to enter it, and we came in second and had enough money to build that pergola, but we didn't know how to build a pergola. I didn't even know what a pergola was. So we had been making lunches for Habitat for Humanity for many years, and Linda Kipnis, who was our main go-getter, and Barb Habina, whose idea this was to have the butterfly garden, were also big volunteers with Habitat. And so they said, why don't we contact Habitat and see if they'd like to build us a pergola? And they did. And so we had a work day, and we came and made lunch. But I think we might have done a little bit of other work too. But we were able to build that pergola in 2012 or 2013, and we've had to stain it once or twice, but we do work all the time to keep the garden going. Some things just take off, so we have to do that, and we will be planting things. We will plant a few annuals. Some years we're able to give kids a plant to start, and then they can come and plant it in the butterfly garden, and they use this as an educational place for learning about life cycles of butterflies. So we think it's a wonderful asset for the community to have. We're so grateful for the vision of Barb Habina and for the hard work. I said I'll try to find a picture of Linda Kipnis where she isn't bent over weeding something, and because she always took care of the garden. So we remember them when we work here. But it's a wonderful place. We invite anybody, if you are walking through and you see a weed, pull it. It's okay. We don't mind at all. And join us on a Benson's work day, and we'll invite you into our garden. And when you're just here enjoying Benson's, come on in and just walk around and see what's blooming and see if you can spot a butterfly.